Call this meeting to order. It's the Water Pollution Control Authority and regular Town Council meeting of North Branford. Today is Tuesday, July 15th. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start the meeting, I would just like to call a moment of silence on the recent passing of our former mayor, Anthony Candelora, who served on the council for 10 years, with some of us who are currently on the council. Anthony lived and breathed North Branford. He was a great mayor, and he will truly be missed. Thank you. Roll call?
Mayor Angeloni.
Here?
Counselor Abelson.
Here.
Counselor Diamond.
Here.
Counselor Goad.
Here.
Counselor Miller.
Here.
Counselor Pelagia.
Here.
Next is approval of the minutes of the June 17th, 2025 WPCA and Town Council. So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Abelson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Now on to the WPCA agenda. Any correspondence or citizen statements regarding WPCA? There's no unfinished business, no new business, and back to citizen statements regarding WPCA. All right, seeing none, we will move on to the regular town council meeting. First item is community events and presentations. I have one thing, just a reminder, that the Chamber of Commerce will be having their Women of Excellence dinner, luncheon on Tuesday, August 5th. And our own Counselor Marie Diamond is one of the honorees this year, along with Ashley Fernandez from North Branford. It will be held at Woodwinds at 11:30. So if you are interested, you can go to the Chamber website and purchase tickets from there. So it's quite an honor. All right, congratulations. Any other community events? Okay, moving on to reports of committees, boards, and commissions. Economic development.
There was no meeting.
Okay. Park and Recreation. The next meeting will be next week on the 22nd. Right now, Park and Rec, we are in full force for the POCO event that is coming. It's just 2.5 weeks away. It will be held August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Auger Park. There is still time for sponsorships. You can go to the website nbpocofest.com for sponsorships and also volunteers. We are seeking volunteers. There are volunteer forms on there. Any and all are welcome to volunteer, one short shift. And it's a great time. So please go to our website and look that up. And we hope to see you all there. And we're hoping for great weather this year. Police Commission.
No meeting.
Fire Commission.
So the meeting was canceled, but I'd still like to read the department calls for the month of June. There were 4 fires, 123 emergency medical calls, 11 motor vehicle accidents, 4 hazardous condition calls, 20 public service good intent calls, 7 residential fire alarm calls, 7 commercial fire alarms, 6 mutual aid calls. Total month of June calls were 182, and the total number of calls for 2025 is 1,114 calls. I'd just like to say something that I don't think anybody, if anybody is listening or anything, please slow down. In the past 3 or 4 months, we've had 3 horrific accidents, basically on Route 80. Some were for speeding, some are not people not paying attention. I've understood that as I got older, I got a little slower. And I'm more aware of what's going on around me when I'm driving. Please be aware when you're driving, and you can eliminate these accidents. Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
That was your public service announcement for today?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Planning and zoning. Tom's not here right now, so we'll just move on. Finance Committee, we did not meet this month. Our next meeting will be August 12th. Public Safety Communications Subcommittee?
Public Safety Communications Subcommittee is having a special meeting next Tuesday, the 22nd at 2 PM here in Town Hall. I guess we're getting the feeling that we thought by now everything would be up and running, and it's still, I think, not all up and running. So this is an important meeting for us.
Is that the fiber?
No, I think it's radios.
Oh.
Okay.
So how long till it is?
They were supposed to have it figured out by July 1st. and
Yeah,
Obviously,
and
we're past that date.
We
so
had the impression that
That's why
everything
we're
was
having a
okay.
meeting next Tuesday.
Evidently, it's not.
So we don't actually have any idea as of right now, ballpark? Is-
Well, I think Anthony can answer that better than I can.
Yeah, there's two issues. There's the repeater issue on Fireground, whether we run in a digital environment or an analog environment. And we had to get a test template in an analog environment to compare and contrast which one was gonna be better for us. The problem is when we're covering the state system, nothing is push a button. It's, Norcom has to create it, it has to get blessed by the state, come back down, there's multiple steps in the process. That was done, the testing has been done. This committee will convene next Tuesday, and we'll make a long-term decision which way we want to live. Digital, analog, or maybe one of each. The pagers, as of last Friday, they brought down the remaining 12 pagers to us with this new and improved template for pager reception. Those have been dispersed over the weekend, and then by next Tuesday, we'll have a good history on, is this the end-all be-all? Have we finally solved the problem? They'll then come down and touch everybody's pager and update them all at once. We wanted to have a little test sample of 12 pagers to see if it worked, and so far it's worked perfectly.
Thank
I
you.
guess what I don't understand is why we can't have both digital and analog.
We can't.
You can't. You have to.
No, we can't. We can't. We can't.
Because I keep hearing we're going from one to the other, one to the other.
There's pluses and minuses for both. The digital gives you a much better quality reception. The analog, the appeal of the analog is that our mutual aid partners can talk to us in an analog mode. They can't talk to us on the digital.
I guess that's what the problem, big
So
problem.
I think I'm gonna advocate for one of each, as you're saying. We'll use the channel 1 as our primary Fireground channel. And if we have to do mutual aid, we put another truck on Fireground too. So there's a way around it.
Okay. Inland wetlands?
Next meeting is next Wednesday, the 23rd.
Okay. And Blueprint Committee, Tom is not here,
There
so.
was no meeting.
There was no meeting, okay. Okay, on to town manager's report. Rory?
Good evening. I'd like to start by acknowledging the passing of Steve Koblick from our Public Works Department. He worked at Public Works for over 20 years, and he was a longtime member of the North Branford Fire Department as well. The town's fiber network has been connected at the Stanley T. Williams Community Center. This will allow us to cancel our Comcast internet service there. The police department will be the next facility to be connected, and when the new Public Works facility is completed, we'll connect it there as well. Once all the town's facilities are connected to the network, employees will be able to move seamlessly between buildings if the need ever arises, so that'll be a real plus. And I want to thank the town's IT contractor, Dennis Pannone, for all his hard work on this project. We held a ratings call with Standard & Poor's ahead of the town's bond sale later this month. The town manager was able to join us via telephone from Ireland. The rating will be issued ahead of the sale and will be distributed once it's received. Fiscal year 25-26 is off to a smooth start. The budget has been uploaded to Munis, and the town departments have begun preparing purchase orders for the year. The town engineer met with Beta Group to review their pavement management evaluation. This report shows an overall above-average condition for roadways in town and will form the basis of the next 5 years of road capital planning. We hope that by strategically expanding our preventative maintenance program and leveraging LOTSIP grants, that will make headway in improving the town's road network over the next several years. Paving and curbing are underway at the North Branford Intermediate School and the high school's old student parking lot. Preparation for paving has also begun at Tucket Valley Elementary School, with paving expected to begin in a few weeks. Contractors have also been restriping roads and center lines throughout town over the past month. July is Parks and Recreation Month. Everyone is invited to come celebrate this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the new pavilion at the Stanley T. Williams Community Center with entertainment from Showtime Steve. Parks and Recreation is excited to also be offering little kids lacrosse for ages 4 through 8 in partnership with Jillian Temple, who is the assistant coach for women's lacrosse at Southern Connecticut State University. The department will also be offering mini camps the week of August 18th. These include Victory Soccer, Lacrosse, Agility, and My First Lemonade Stand, which is a financial literacy and entrepreneurship program for grades K through 2. As always, details on these and all the other wonderful programs being offered can be found on nbrecreation.com. And last but certainly not least, preparation for this year's Potato and Corn Festival are kicking into high gear. Everyone is invited to join from August 1st through August 3rd. This is from Carrie for a spudtacular time. Thank you to everybody at the Public Works and Parks and Recreation Department, as well as the coordinators and all the volunteers for their hard work. Tax bills were sent out to residents for July 1st and are due by Friday, August 1st. Any payments received after this date will be considered late and subject to a state-mandated 18% annual interest rate. Bills can be paid online, by phone, by mail, or in person. In economic development news, we received plans recently for the former Rite Aid in Northford Center. It will be a DG Market, which is Dollar General brand. They have expanded grocery options as compared to the regular Dollar General. Work is ongoing at the new Starbucks location at the intersection of Foxen Road and Branford Road. We met with their engineering team this week to discuss their sewer connection, which has been delayed by discussions with DOT. Great Wall Chinese and the original Poppy's restaurant, both located in Central Plaza, are open again. We continue to work closely with the plaza's owner and his contractors to ensure that they address the remaining issues at the plaza. And finally, I spoke with the owner of Kent Falls Brewing, which is slated to open in the former stewards of the land space. They operate a 50-acre working farm in Kent, Connecticut, and they're a farm brewery. They source 100% of their grain from Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New York, and they source other ingredients from local farms. They're very excited to join the community. They have nothing bad to say about North Branford, and they're excited to work with all the local farmers.
Okay, thank you. Any updates from Permanent Project Building Committee?
Yes. The issues at the police department, the HVAC system, have been improving. Temperatures are better controlled, but humidity issues persist. The system is being monitored 24/7, and the entire design and construction team are working together to recommend and implement changes to better control the humidity. Warranty and punch list items are ongoing there as well, and there appears to be a leak in one of the air handling units that's being addressed. At the high school, punch list and project closeout are ongoing. The glass replacement is in progress and will hopefully be complete by the start of school. At the intermediate school, the base project is complete. Sidewalk replacement has been scheduled and most strips are set to be installed. The Stanley T. Williams Pavilion project has been completed. At the Edward Smith Library, an RFP for engineering services to design the new system has been issued, and responses are due by July 23rd. The portable HVAC units that have been brought in the interim have not been able to cope with some of the extreme heat and humidity that we've been having. So we've had to close the facility when the need arises. The high school athletic storage building project is underway, and footings are scheduled to be inspected later this month. And finally, demolition has begun and the project is underway at the Public Works facility.
Rory, do you know if anybody from the Permanent Project Building Committee will be here for our executive session?
I don't believe so.
I requested that through Gina, that there be members here. Did you get a response?
I did not.
Do you know if anybody was contacted?
I don't believe so.
Why not?
That's something that hopefully we're going to get into during executive session.
I'm just asking why they're not here. I'm not asking anything about the details of the executive session. That pisses me off, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyone, any other questions?
Rory, the air conditioning that's not working at what location they have to close up?
The Edward Smith Library.
They're portable units that they brought in, because that's the one that we have to replace.
We have to replace, the temporaries aren't keeping up,
Correct.
so, okay.
They're
Thank you.
not keeping up with extremely humid days like today.
I thought we had another building that was in failure.
No, it's
Okay.
that same one, so their permanent project is waiting for the engineer report to
Can
come
I
back.
ask another question?
Yep.
I'm concerned about the whiteboards at the high school. Do you know if they're working? They said that they were going to work on this summer. Do you know if they've been doing that? Because I understand there's a real problem still.
I don't, but I can find out.
Because when the last time I asked the question, Dave Palumbo had said they were going to work on them this summer, so I,
Well, I was at the permanent project building committee meeting probably about 4 weeks ago, and they did talk about that extensively with Amar from Gilbane, and some of them have to be replaced, but then there is a solution that has been approved by permanent project and the manufacturer and the people that installed, that they will be doing that
this summer.
this summer, yes, along with the glass replacement.
Thank you.
So. Any other questions? Okay. On to citizen statements, petitions, and correspondence. Do we have any citizen statements?
I'm Ed Pruner, I'm the chairman of the Board of Fire Commissioners. I know other than Ron and Marie, I just want to fill the rest of you guys in on the radio problem. At the last meeting, the attorney was there, they asked if we could give them until the middle of June to fix everything 100%. We gave them until July 1st. We extended it another 2 weeks, and everything up until this day is still not 100%. That's why Councilman Wpca tried to post that they had until July 1st, so now we're actually 2 weeks over, and me personally, I don't like to say we're gonna go analog, we're gonna go digital. We should get what we paid for. We paid for a working radio system, and I believe we should get, I don't like to settle for anything. We didn't settle on the price, we paid good money for a radio system that should work 100% of the time. So just to let you know, at the next meeting, they promised us by July 1st, it would be 100%. It's not 100%. So at the next meeting that we're gonna have next week, that's what we're really pushing for.
Well, it's my understanding that this system that we got is, other towns have this same system and do not have any problems.
And we're the only town out of every other town that has it, has this problem. But, I mean, well,
Problems, not just.
yeah, well, problems, and then you know, I just wanna fill you guys in, because other than the two of them, and me and Joe, and Anthony, and the attorney, because he was at the last meeting, nobody knows.
What
I mean,
what are the problems?
The problem is, they don't work half, you know, some of the time, they don't work. You keep them mic, you're getting noises instead of being able to talk. The pagers are not working at all. They keep rebooting them and you know what I mean? When they gave us the price, we paid it. They told us what it was, we paid it. We paid for a radio system that's gonna work 100% of the time. And that now, when you go to a meeting, and you can ask Ron and Marie, it's always past the buck. Well, you guys wanted this, we told you it wouldn't work. But we paid you for work. So if you didn't think it was gonna work, why didn't you tell us? Don't put that in, it's not gonna work. They didn't say that. Whoever asked, you know, they're going back years now, and people that are not even around anymore, well, this guy asked for this, we knew it wasn't gonna work, but we gave it to you anyway. That's a stupid answer. If you knew it wasn't gonna work and you got seriously good money for this system, then why would you sell it to us and put it in, if you knew it wasn't gonna work? And that's what they're saying. I mean, you know, correct me if I'm lying, Ron, right?
Oh, 100%.
That's what they're saying, you know, at every meeting. Well, we knew it wasn't gonna work, but we put them in anyway. That's a stupid question, that's a stupid answer.
Do they have 100% of our money?
What's that?
Do they have 100% of our money?
Yes.
So they shouldn't have 100% of our money then? Or they owe us money, right?
Well, I mean, we're
If it's not
paid in
working.
full for a radio system that was signed, you know, that we got a signed contract saying it's gonna work 100% of the time. It doesn't work,
Ed,
so.
I asked this question I think about a month or two ago. Is there something in our town that's interfering with the radio system? Is there something in North Branford? Is it the towers? Is it Tilcon? Is there some kind of an interference that's creating this?
Bruce, what I took away,
Go ahead, no,
I'm sorry to cut you
no,
off.
no, go.
What I took away last time, and you guys feel free to correct me if I'm not right, but initially, the radios were not set up correctly.
That I knew.
There's been a series of fixes implemented, and one of the
Firmware
questions
updates.
I asked at the last minute, at the last meeting, was at what point do we strip all the radios back to zero and just start over from scratch? Because now we issued a series of Band-Aids on it to try to get them working better. And I was told at the time, and I trust, you know, I guess what I was told, is that we're almost there, and to do that would be just a whole lot of work, and, you know, we're almost there so we can get them fixed. But
We're not almost.
we're not, so
So
I don't know.
is it a signal issue or is it an actual equipment
They're-
issue? Or a
90%.
mixture?
They're blaming 90% of the problem on the repeaters. They sold us the repeaters. We're the only town supposedly, I mean, Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, that has repeaters. So if every other town doesn't have repeaters and doesn't have a problem, we have 10 of them. They sold us 10 repeaters.
At what
And
cost?
we're having a problem. What do we think?
50 grand a piece.
So I thought they were gonna take them out
We should have
and
new
do
repeaters
it
then.
without the repeaters and then
Well,
test
the
the
other towns ain't using
system
repeaters,
without
he
it.
says.
Huh?
He says the other towns aren't using repeaters.
No, the other towns don't use repeaters.
So I guess the
That might be
question
the
I would
problem.
have, do we have any leverage legally here? Do we have any leverage?
That's something we should talk about.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, tonight, I only wanted to fill you guys in. I didn't want,
Okay.
you know, because I know Ron's getting aggravated, Marie, I talked to Marie, she's getting aggravated. I mean, it's aggravating, because we paid. So I just wanted, you know, the other 6 of you or 8 of you to know, this is where we're at. We're working on it, but at the last meeting, they promised us, I told you, they said June, second week of June, that's all we need. We were gracious enough, we said, you know what, could you do it second week of June, they want. We get until July 1st, give me another 2 weeks. We don't need it, they said, Motorola, we don't need it. Take it anyway. But I said, July 1st, 100% fixed, 100%.
What bothers me is we had a consultant through this whole thing, and I feel he should be part,
Well, I mean,
Helping
that's like
us
the lawyer said,
fix
that's
it.
to talk about at the commission meeting.
I really do.
I
I think,
agree.
you know, I just wanted to fill these all in to let you know where we're at. That's where we're at,
Thank you.
okay?
Okay.
You know, I mean, if you hear that
And I,
one of the meetings got a little heated or whatever, you know why.
Is this for police and public works too, or just
Yeah,
fire?
no,
Yeah.
that's public works.
It's all the,
And, you know,
it's-
and everything is, well, we'll settle for this. Why should we have to settle? Franny was supposed to be able to talk to every town. He can't. He was supposed to be able to talk to, you know, to every town. He was supposed to be able to listen to us during snowstorm, we should be able to talk to him. You know, if our ambulance is going somewhere and it needs the road plowed, we're supposed to be able to talk to his trucks and everything. There's a problem on everything, so.
Okay.
We're gonna hopefully straighten it out, but that's where we're at right now.
Ed and Joe, I appreciate this because I'm starting to get increasingly frustrated because when we get updated on some of these projects, it seems like there's always rose-colored glasses on and we're not getting the full story. So I appreciate you guys coming forward.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Not just this project, but other ones as well. And it's unfortunate that we have to learn the real story through back channels rather than get it.
Yeah, well, I
This
don't
way,
believe in
so-
that, you know, and I don't believe we should have to settle. You know, we're gonna settle for analog, we should have digital, we're gonna settle for analog, why? We pay for digital, give us digital, make it work. We pay for analog and digital, then it's a different story, but,
So,
you know, I know the guys, my guys in the fire department don't like analog. They have a tough time here.
so without the repeaters, I think I asked this question wrong. Without the repeaters, can you still do digital?
You know what, the testing, me and Joe are not involved in it, we just get reports back that last night was a good night, last night was not a good night, that's all we get.
I've seen you at the
So,
meetings
for
when you
me,
sat
I
there
mean,
and
I
said
don't-
everybody.
As far as I know, you key the mic and they hear you. That's as far as I know about radio system. And ours, you key the mic, no, but that's as far as I know, that's as far as Joe knows. I mean, you know, I'm not into the technical aspect, but I know it should work.
By rights, none of us should have to know.
Right.
We hired the experts, none of us need to know anything.
That's why we hire.
It's just gonna work, like you said, 100%.
Yeah, no, and I specified that at the last meeting. I wanted 100%. And they promised me by the middle of June it'll be 100%. Now, July 1st, it's still not 100%. So, I mean, do we let them keep going and then it looks like we're, you know, like we're backing down from our stance, you know what I mean? We took a stance, I think we should honor the stance. Now it's 2 weeks over. It's over 2 weeks over the deadline. So that's where we are. Next meeting I'll be here. If there's any update, then I'll let you know.
okay.
So,
Thank you.
All right?
last thing, who ultimately makes that decision? To sit there and say, okay, we're done. We've given you till the 15th, it's not working, we're done.
Marie's the chairman of the committee, you know, I mean, if she listens to, I mean, it's, the police and fire, you know,
Ooh,
the
you got a
police is in
big,
charge
you
of
got a lot on your
communications.
shoulders there, Marie.
I think we're gonna talk about that in executive session.
Yeah.
Yes.
The problem is, this is life and safety. You can't
Oh,
have
yeah.
a fireman inside a house who can't talk to people and say, hey, the house is burning and I'm inside and I need help to get out. They can't hear him, there's something really wrong here.
Yeah.
That's safety.
This started a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
This started a
Yeah.
real
It's
long
this
time ago.
guy's fault, it's that guy's fault, it's this, it's not our fault,
Madam
we
Mayor.
paid.
When we go
I
into
mean, we
executive
signed all
session,
the
are you
checks,
gonna be
we paid.
present for it?
So
We
someone
can
gotta be able to
invite
put the
I
blame
think
on
that
somebody.
if
I
we
think
go,
it-
I think if we go into executive session, we should have them present.
Do you
to
guys
us
mind hanging around and being part of our executive session?
For that portion.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, I have a statement from Cliff Potter that he was unable to attend tonight that he would like me to read. Okay. So Cliff sent me this text, and he just, on the passing of Anthony Candelora, and just saying how Vinnie and Anthony served our town for many years. Vinnie went on to Hartford, and Anthony continued on the town council, was mayor for 3 terms. He also was vice president of Taconic Wire, a local business in town. Cliff was chairman of the Ag Committee at the time, and he would go visit Anthony at Taconic Wire. Of course, he always brought coffee along so he could sit and talk to Anthony, but he always left those meetings more informed and a better person because of Anthony. So those are his words in regards to Anthony Candelora.
Thank you, Cliff.
Any other public comments? Citizen statements? Okay, moving on to resignations and appointments. The first is, we received a resignation of Laura Burge from the Board of Fire Commissioners. I'd like to thank Laura for all of her time and commitment to the Fire Commission and wish her well as she continues on in her personal life. Things were getting a little hard for her between work, her personal life, and the Fire Commission, and so she decided to resign at this point in time. Next item is appointment of Robert Latorca Jr. to fill the vacancy left by Laura Burridge on the Board of Fire Commissioners to serve the remainder of the term, which expires 12/1/26. Do I hear a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Palicia. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Next item, unfinished. Yep.
I think he's here. Do you want to come
Oh.
up and just say,
Okay.
just introduce yourself?
Oh, that's nice. I get to see a face with me.
I'm Rob Alaraga. I just wanted to thank you guys for the opportunity to serve on the commission. Don't really have anything to say, so.
Well, it's nice to put a name and a
Good
face
luck.
together now, and thank you, and,
Thank you so much.
all right,
Good
thank
luck
you.
and Thanks.
Okay, on to unfinished business, discussion and action. Approval of draft RFQ specifications for RFQ number 926019, development for 1599 Foxton Road. This is to be discussed in executive session first, and then we'll come back to it if we're taking any action on this after executive session. So we're just going to move on from this, and we'll come back at the end of the meeting after executive session. So now on to new business, discussion and action. First is easement for RWA water main extension.
Good evening. The Regional Water Authority is looking to provide a transmission main for their water plant throughout the other parts of town and other locations. So they're looking for an easement, utility easement on our property identified as 99 Doral Farms Road. And that property already has power lines and a gas line going through it. So this is consistent with the use of the current use of the property. The Planning and Zoning Commission did do a positive review of the 8-24 that went before them at their last meeting. So just looking to execute the easement that was included in the packet. I believe that was already reviewed by legal and should be ready to go.
Okay, so the suggested motion is on page 90 of our packet.
So moved?
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Goad. Does anyone have any questions for Chris in regards to this? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Next item is Jerome Harrison and Auditorium HVAC. So this is, so there's information in our packet. Let me just, on page, starts I think on page 97. Yes. This item came before we had a joint meeting between the council and the Board of Education in June, and this was presented to us at the end of our meeting, and it has to do with the energy management system at both of those schools. Marie and Craig were at that meeting with me, along with the Board of Education and John Florio. John could not be here tonight. He is on vacation this week. The little bit that I know of this in talking with John, so these energy management systems, the Board of Education has had these in their capital request for the last several years. never really gave us any detail as to what this actually entailed in these buildings. The issue has now been brought forward to us in the respect that, so during this last fiscal year, the 24-25 fiscal year, we had in our capital program, which we went out to bid and we installed, they needed new HVAC for the gym at Jerome Harrison School and for the auditorium. That work has been done. The problem is that the systems cannot work, do not work under the current energy management systems, nor can they be run manually. So we have spent approximately $250,000 on 2 air conditioning systems in 2 different buildings, and they do not work. The other parts of the buildings work because John is able to go into manual mode, but they cannot do manual mode on the new systems that are in. So John has provided us in our packet here with information as far as how much these systems will cost to update at Jerome Harrison and at the auditorium, and it is quite extensive. My feeling on this is because John is not here and cannot answer any questions, I'm not sure, I know Marjorie's here from the Board of Ed. I don't know how much you know about this.
That's about what I know. I know that there was a short-term fix that he was talking about getting for this year, and then, because the company couldn't even get to it this year, and then something would have, we were gonna get it done the following year if that were to be the case. So I'm here so that I could see what the temporary fix would cost.
The email that we got from John Florio, that John got from the company, it's approximately $12,000 per location. And that money that is spent on the temporary fixed would go towards the cost of the system that has to go in. So we wouldn't lose all of the money. It's probably not dollar for dollar, but it's pretty, John said it's pretty close. So I don't want to speak for John because he's not here. This is just information I had asked him before he went on vacation in regards to this. But between the 2 schools, we're looking at approximately $475,000.
I have a question. Marjorie, why are you coming to us? You're the chairman of the Board of Education. Why are you coming here to get those numbers? Why are you not getting them directly from John and Scott?
That's a good question. The flow of information is not quite where I'd like it to be.
That needs to be fixed.
I was at the joint meeting, and so I knew about the situation. When I presented the budget, I had asked for a priority of the capital budget, but that was also not brought to our attention as a priority, and that it had been on for 3 years, it had been on the capital request. So information is really not being shared in a timely manner, and I don't necessarily know why I'm here for that information, and I don't know it. Couldn't tell you that.
Did they know that the system was needed? Did they at least know that when we,
Yes.
like, that was never presented to us, did they know?
I've been on a
I'm
town
sorry,
council for
it was.
two years, and it's been mentioned
It's been
numerous
mentioned,
times.
that my question was, I think
John
John
stood up there a
mentioned
few
the
times
fact
and mentioned
that
it.
it's gonna be, it's mandatory that we
Yes.
have to sit, we're gonna have to sit there and do this.
He said
Yeah.
this was coming sooner or later.
He
He
said
said
Right,
last
well,
year.
yes,
coming.
he did tell us that, but when they asked to have the air conditioning systems replaced in the auditorium in Jerome Harrison School, this was not brought up, that those systems would not work that without doing the energy management systems.
Like, when they presented it, they should have presented, it's gonna cost this much for this, and this much for this is what we need. We approved something that we didn't know it needed something else, it sounds like. We didn't know, when we said yes, we didn't know
And then John goes around every morning and has to.
He gets up early, nice
He
to
gets
see
to
him.
get up early and run from the school to the orchard to turn stuff on. Why I remember him saying that.
Right, he has
It's
to,
crazy.
he has to do it manually.
No, I
Yeah,
remember.
he's doing it.
No, that's
No,
not
he
crazy.
talked about this.
$400,000 is crazy.
No,
You
he
flip
did,
a switch
did- he
for, a
talked-
lot of switches for 400,000.
He talked about this. He didn't give us, I don't think he gave us quotes.
It was on for $350 in previous capital requests. That was the price that was attached to it, so.
Did they take it out of the capital improvements because of the budget? Was that the reason why it wasn't, it's here now?
So, it was on, it's been on, like you said, for 2 years, and, they said it was expensive, so.
Yeah, we knew it was.
So
John
they-
said it was
no.
going to be.
Right, so it wasn't, maybe because of the expense, it wasn't chosen as what the council wanted to put money into, but I don't know if it was clear that it was understood that these things wouldn't work. I mean, you can't buy the air conditioner but not be able to turn it on, I mean.
Well, usually we ask the question what the priorities are.
Right,
And
and-
paving always comes up. I had never heard this come up as a priority.
No, it was.
Secondly is why would you install something that's not gonna work? It's like putting the cart before the horse, right? So we should have put in the controls, then put the.
If he was here, he'd be able to answer that.
Right,
because
but I'm just saying,
I
it's just.
believe he said that when they put in the new system, they didn't realize that they weren't gonna talk to each
Correct.
other.
That's
So
correct.
that's when it turns out he had to manually go and turn them all on. Now we're into this problem, so.
I'd like to make a suggestion moving forward. I'd like to suggest that when there's Board of Education issues, we don't just ask Scott and John to be here. I know John has to be here because of his technical knowledge, but I'd like to see somebody from the Board of Education take ownership and force them to communicate with the Board of Education so that the Board of Education members can come here and present to us on these issues. So at least they're made aware of this stuff and they can vet some of this stuff before it gets to us. Because this should not be coming to us like this. This is quite honestly ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, in this year's capital budget request, I do not recall Scott saying one word about,
It wasn't.
I mean, he wanted the air conditioning at TVS because of the new floor that was put in. And I was at all of their budget workshops in January and February, and when they discussed their capital, yes, it was part of their, but they had 6 or 8 items as capital, and it was never discussed.
But John did he has stood in front of us for past 2
suppose-
Right,
years.
yeah, no,
I
I-
mean, he actually has told us that this is coming. I didn't realize that it's gonna be at a tune of $400,000.
He said it was.
We didn't know it
gonna
was
cost a lot of
gonna,
money,
yeah,
I
he didn't
remember
say,
saying
we didn't know it wasn't gonna not work, because like.
Right, but I think
It
with
might have been
Ron,
something he just found out after
I think he
it got
got the pricing
installed.
later. yeah,
right,
or
but,
something.
but the
In
proper,
office.
the proper, procedure here should be, like you've said, it's the Board of Ed that should be, working to resolve these problems and the communication and identifying and getting everything ironed out before it comes to us. All we have to do is bless, we have the money or we don't have the money, right?
Well, we really don't, do we?
Uh,
I mean, or is this like a mandatory, this is that, and now it's come to us that it has to be done.
Well, there was a request from the superintendent. He was requesting money from the 2022-23 fiscal year because of overpayment in medical insurance that we talked about extensively during the budget this year because things didn't make sense. And what happened is they paid 13 payments one year, and the
Right.
next year they paid 12.
We already went through that, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So they have an overpayment of approximately $415,000, which came back to the town and is in the fund balance, is in the undesignated fund balance. He has made a request that he would like that money to go into the 2% fund that we allocate it to his 2% fund, his non-lapsing account. So there is money, but I think we need to have more of a discussion with John and the superintendent and board members. So my suggestion is that we table this till next month.
I agree.
If it could go that long, because with the way the weather's been going.
Well, it doesn't matter. The systems that have been
So John
installed,
still needs to go there
they've been
every day.
installed for months.
Well, they said they can't do it for a year anyway. They can't do anything
I
for
recall
a
him
year.
saying something about them probably getting it done sooner if we, I don't know, I recall him saying something about reaching out to them and maybe getting it done sooner if we can, but.
No, they can do.
He's gotta be here to answer
Yeah.
that.
They
I
can, they
might
can
be
do
wrong.
they can do the fix, which is part of the big system to get it working. That's the $12,000. The big work to be done, we cannot
Get
get
that
on the
done for
schedule
right.
until next year.
Right.
I'd like to make a motion to table this till, John.
I would also like to add to that, I think we should wait till September, because then we'll hear a lot of board members saying they're on vacation in August. If we want them all here, I suggest it be September.
Okay.
Table it till September.
I'll table this till September.
Second.
Well, let's see once if they're,
Yeah.
because by August, I think it's the third week, so it would be 5th, 12th, 19th. They're back. I know they canceled their July meeting, but their August meeting they would have, and it's that same week. So we can, Marjorie, if you can just check to make sure that everyone would be here for August. I mean, we'll just table it, and if they're all here for August, fine, we can discuss it then.
If not, September.
If not, then it'll just go to September.
So is your Board of Education meeting before ours or after?
After, it's on the 21st of August, on that Thursday.
So ours is
Yeah, we're in
Tuesday.
September then.
So it is September. The meeting's after that meeting.
I think we should keep it on
That's
for
August.
August, just in case we need to approve that temporary fix, rather than
Yeah.
just
I
to get
agree.
them up and running.
If we have to table again, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Because September, if they can get that temporary fix, if we all agree on it, and they can get that temporary fix done, it may be operational for September. I could be making stuff up, I don't know, but it could be operational for September. Some of those buildings still get warm in September with the kids in there and stuff like that, so.
Yeah. I mean, you also, don't you rent out the auditorium for different events?
We don't, the Board of Ed does.
Oh, okay.
So it's up to them if I don't think it's been rented. I don't think they've done a lot of rentals, but that's their choice, if they're going to rent or not.
Okay.
That-
I mean,
that's-
it was uncomfortable when we were there for the eighth grade promotion, it was warm. And I think there's an issue too with moisture and the wires, electrical and things like that. So we also talked about putting in large industrial fans. Is there anything as to that in the?
There's not, we don't have any of that information at all, so I'm not, that would be a step that the board would have to take. That's not up to us.
Okay.
Brian, have you ever met with the Board of Education and the superintendent to outline exactly everybody's roles and how things are supposed to work?
No, meetings with them.
Would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll have to discuss that as a board, but it seems like people are not clear on their responsibilities.
Okay, so the motion was made to table.
I'll second
Okay,
And we'll second it.
Yep.
All time good? I'm sorry.
okay.
One second.
All in
Be
favor?
careful what you-
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Are you tabling it 1 month just for clarification to the August meeting?
Yeah, if you can check with,
I have an appointment with Scott this week.
yeah, if they can be here for our August 19th meeting
I'll get you that information.
and get all of the information for us.
John will be here, right?
Yes, yeah. Okay, next item, an MOA for fiscal year '24 Homeland Security Grant Program. So, let me see.
What is that?
I don't know.
Is this
Exactly what I was just gonna say.
police department thing?
It's an annual emergency management grant through Demis. Usually we coordinate it with Region 2.
So we're just approving it?
Is this a
But it's
state?
24.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
it's-
It's through the state, but it's federal funds that pass through.
There's still federal funds available?
If there aren't, there won't be a grant.
Well, should it say 24 or 25?
Right.
I think is what you
Yes.
just asked.
24, this is last year. I think we were 25, right?
Yeah,
It might be the prior federal fiscal year, meaning the funds would already have been allocated.
Well, those are gone then.
Because on the bottom it says due date is September 30th, 2025. So maybe they have a deadline by then
I
to,
don't quite understand what we're asking.
I don't even know what it is.
What are we asking
I'm trying
for?
to-
You're authorizing the town manager to apply for the grant, essentially.
You don't have to have a specific as to what the grant's going to be for?
I think it depends. Again, typically, I think we coordinate this with Region 2. If we aren't awarded the grant, there's,
So,
Rory, what's the
Is there-
grant, for? What is
All
it
right.
for, though?
Yeah,
So-
that's what I couldn't see.
Region.
I mean, it can be used for planning, training, equipment, all related to Homeland Security.
Is there any portion that the town is responsible to match or provide?
No, not unless, whatever project is selected, would have a supplement that's required, but that would come through a separate request.
so when does this have to be approved by?
September 30th,
Can we table
25.
this? I'm sorry, Rory.
No.
I think maybe Michael might know a little bit more about it.
It says they're required to be submitted to the regional fiduciary on or before September 30th, 2025.
It's just not a lot of information.
No, it's not clear. I
You know.
don't understand what we're asking for.
What region are we, Royer?
We're Region 2.
Can we table this till next month?
Why not, right? It's up
Yeah,
to
you could-
I'm sorry,
Let's
Rory,
table it.
there's no,
No, it's okay.
it's just not enough information. We
You
need
know,
more information.
I mean,
Well, do you know what it is?
well, you gotta read it.
It doesn't really tell you what you're
It
asking.
doesn't tell you anything.
Gotta read it.
Roy, didn't you say it was
Not to read.
something about, you said something about Region 2?
Yeah.
That's
so-
reviewed Region 2 or something?
Yeah, so we're part of Region 2 for Demis, and, let's say it could be for a regionally shared asset. So let's say they want to get a mobile, animal control unit. That may be what the grant is applied to. But that's why there's no, you're not applying for anything in specific, you're applying to the grant program for the funding, that if we're awarded, they make a determination how it would be spent.
And if you don't ask, you don't receive.
Correct.
So we have to ask.
You're just authorizing Mike to apply for the grant.
Yeah, it doesn't say nothing.
Told you. Just, if we can get more, I think we should have more information on,
That's fine.
You
You want
feel
to,
more
we can,
comfortable?
I feel more comfortable with more information. Honestly, it's just,
Make a motion.
so I'm putting a motion out on the table to table this, the MOA FY 2024 Homeland Security Grant Program.
I will second
Till next month.
okay.
You gonna second it on the table?
There's a lot to read here.
I know.
So the motion has been made and seconded to table this item. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. It will be tabled.
Sorry about that, Rory, thank you.
No, like I-
Okay, next item is Tax Department Operations Policy.
Next.
All right, we're moving on, guys. Okay, sorry about that.
I think you guys got it in the packet for the procedure.
Yeah, we have to get through this grant that we just tabled. It's about 50 pages.
Yeah, it's about to say, it's a lot.
44.
Oh,
44?
144.
Wow,
That was
that's what I
a-
said, 144.
Why are there so many pages in this month?
because of the grant.
Pages and pages.
That you're gonna have to read.
I'm not reading anything.
Okay.
Okay,
This is what we have to come back from, I think.
okay. All right, go ahead, Jerry.
I think in their packet, it was just to update some of the procedures in our tax policy for the payment plan arrangements that we've had, and to grandfather the ones in that are already doing it. But going forward, formal plans, I mean, people can pay whatever they like. If you're paying and you're keeping up with it, I'm not gonna do anything about it. But if you're not, then you should be going to the attorney for it. So that was one of the things I changed on it. And the other one was just write-offs instead of bringing them to you, I mean, it's less than like $20, I think, a year for write-offs.
So give an example of no plan.
So if somebody comes in, they have, it's like now, you're due now, and somebody has $3,000 they're supposed to pay. And they say,
Alicia Abelson, FaceTime video.
I'm so sorry.
Kids don't learn.
They don't know time.
I know.
Well, you can silence your
And they say,
phone.
well, you know what, I can't pay it all right now, but I can give you, say, 1,000. Okay, that's fine, but whatever's left is not gonna have the interest. Whether you're on a plan or not, you still get interest. You still get a delinquent, you still get a demand notice, you still get an intent to lien notice. Those still have to go out by state law. So basically, it's just saying, okay, like they wanna pay $400. Like I do have somebody that does 400 or 500, whatever it is, and they're paid up before the next bill comes out. It's fine, you don't need to do an actual plan with something like that. It's, I mean, I'm not gonna, say, oh, well, no, you have to pay, no. It's, you're making an effort, and we definitely see that on certain people, so. It's just basically contact.
And is it only on real estate that you take partial payments?
No, we'll do it on,
Because it says here, there are no payment plans set up for sewer, personal property, or motor vehicles.
because they do go to collection, and they're notified that they go to collection. But if they're doing a particular plan, and they're paying, and they're making that effort to pay, we will not send them to collection. Like if somebody's doing their sewer right now, I'm not gonna send that to collection, because I know that they're in the midst of paying. So they might have a couple of years worth, and they're in the midst of paying, and I'm not gonna send it to collection. And I don't, so, I don't do that. Like, it's not, it's, to me, it's not fair. I mean, it should be, they're making that effort, they're doing what they need to do, they know it's due, they know they have to pay it, so. It's just no formal. But people that are already in the plan will stay the way they are, because they do pay every month. The ones that don't, then they,
But they will still pay the penalty and interest.
Yes,
Yes.
they have to by state law, unfortunately.
Yep.
You can't
Oh,
waive
no, it's
that,
good.
and
I'm
I
just- that's why I'm
can't-
just making sure.
I can't even, it has to go, when you get an intent to lien notice the following year, if it's not paid in full, the lien does go on the property, whether you're on a plan or not. So these people that are on the plan, the property is liened.
Yeah.
So, it does, it's just more like a, I'll be honest.
Okay, so the two changes then are, there's no formal payment plans going forward, and then the write-off.
Yeah, the write-offs, I think the other things were already in place.
Yeah.
I think I just put them on here because I don't know if they were on there before. Just
Okay.
About the 3 years, like, we did that last year, we did it this year, anything that's a credit that's sitting out there for more than 3 years has to be basically put back in the general fund. It's like you can do it as an automatic instead of now coming. I mean, the first year, yeah, it was like $280,000, so, but now it's dropped, so that this way they're back in the general fund and press usage. So I think this past one was like 18,000, 17,000. And then written off, like instead of coming to you to say, okay, we're gonna write off this, it's usually like less than $20 a year that we just write it off because they're like $2, 40 cents, a penny, things like that. So it's just to change this.
Okay.
I think I redlined it. You guys have it?
Well, it's not red in our
Oh,
packet,
okay.
but it's underlined, it's crossed out, and then the new
Yes,
stuff
last
is
page.
underlined, so we can see what the new stuff is. Yes.
That's it.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to accept the amended policies for the tax department as stated?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made by Counselor Zampano, second by Counselor Goad. Are there any other questions for our tax collector in regards to this? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. You're welcome. Okay, next item, update on fiscal 23-24 audit. So where do we stand, Anthony?
As of 5/12 tonight, it's being reviewed internally at Seward and Monday. She'll get an answer tomorrow and contact me with any questions.
Okay, so obviously this has not been submitted to the state yet, right?
The
Because
draft was submitted on time. The draft audit was submitted to satisfy the state as well as the MSRB. The same draft audit was filed.
by June 30th, before June 30th?
So now when the final audit gets done, I'll refile that one in place of the draft audit.
Okay. So when can we expect,
Well, my goal is to have her come to the August meeting,
okay,
make the formal transmittal. The way she's talking, that tomorrow she'll have any feedback from the internal review committee, and then we'll see if there's any comments at all, and then I can copy you guys on the comments or whatever she has.
okay. Will we be able to get a copy of the audit prior to her presenting to us so that we can look at it rather than seeing it that night for the first time?
In a timely manner, please. Not the day of.
Okay, all right.
So going forward, what's the expected time frame to finish an audit
December 31st.
of
That's the state regulation. It has to be filed with the state by December 31st.
so this year's by December 31st?
Did we incur any
No,
penalties or anything?
Not yet, no.
No, wait a minute.
The year that just ended last week.
Yeah, that's
Has
what
to
I'm
be filed
talking.
with the state by December 31st.
Okay.
Will we get any penalties? No?
I don't believe so.
Will we meet it?
I anticipate, we've already got the Board of Ed reconciled, which is the big thing. The problem, you're gonna see there's transfers coming up later on for 23, 24. A lot of the issues that we've had with Munis as it relates to POs that carry from one year to the next are resolved now. That's why you see some accounts from 28 that are overexpended and making transfers a year past the deadline. It's kind of bizarre. But these all popped up as part of us correcting the issues in Munis. So that's why you see transfers from 23, 24. And that's been resolved. We're a better handle on that, I believe.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Next item is lease purchase agreement fiscal year 25-26.
Yeah, as typically happens, the Board of Ed enters into a 4-year lease purchase for technology. This year also, we have 2 public works vehicles, a dump truck, and an F-750 being done through a lease purchase. They get packaged up and sent out to various leasing companies. You have the 4 responses in front of you, ranging, there's a typo on your sheet on the Board of Ed Technology. Their TD's rate is actually 4.25. So on both regards, both the Board of Ed Technology and the public works vehicles, TD came in with the sharpest pencil. And the Board of Ed situation, it relates to a higher number of technology they could buy, 263, 338 and change. And on the public works, again, the 4.31 interest rate is more favorable. So if someone's gonna read the motion, if you could, on the very bottom of that page, where you'll see the Board of Ed technology based on a 4-year advance rate of 4.31 should be 4.25. You're gonna read the motion specifically.
So, question.
Yes, sir.
So the 263, 338.31, is that based on 4.31 or 4?
2.25.
It is based on 4.25?
Yeah, my memo was
Okay.
incorrect.
That's one. Two, are these are dollar buyouts?
Capital lease, we just buy them at the end, we get them for free. We own them, yeah. There's no dollar buyout.
Oh,
Theoretically, it's a dollar buyout.
okay.
It's ours.
Okay.
It's just a financing mechanism that we use.
Right, okay.
Okay, the motion's on page
You
147.
want me to read it?
Sure.
Thanks. Be it further resolved that the North Branford Town Council authorize Michael P. Downs, Town Manager, and Anthony P. Esposito Jr., CPFO Treasury and Finance Director, to sign the necessary paperwork to enter into a lease purchase with TD Equipment Finance, Inc. to acquire approximately $263,338.31 of technology for Board of Education based on a 4-year advanced funding interest rate of 4.25% per annum and a Mack truck valued at $290,000, a Ford F-750 valued at $165,000 with 3 annual payments of $158,109.64 based on a 3-year advanced funding rate of 4.25%, subject to review and approval.
That one's 3-1.
It is 3-1?
Trucks are 3-1.
Thank you, excuse me. Funding rate of 4.31%, subject to review and approval by the town attorney's office.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Abelson, seconded by Counselor Goad. Discussion?
Question. So we're gonna purchase a F-750 valued at $165,000 with 3 annual payments of $158,000.
Well, no, there's 2 trucks.
Two trucks come out.
290,000 and
Oh, okay,
165.
sorry, my bad. I was reading it and I didn't really see it. So I'm all good. I'm gonna take that back.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, next item is appropriation transfer fiscal year 23-24.
As I mentioned, Madam Mayor, this is driven by the corrections that were made as part of the unit situation. There were literally hundreds of invoices that had to be corrected, split up amongst myself, Lori, Terry, Jill, Mike Fumiati, Dennis, and we went back and fixed the postings, and as a result, there are several accounts showing over expended, and these are the transfers to cover those back to June 30, 24.
Okay.
I'll read the motion here.
Mm-hmm.
Be it resolved that the North Branford Town Council hereby approves the following appropriation transfers as recommended by the town manager and the town treasurer finance director for the fiscal year 23-24.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Zampano. Discussion?
You said some of the accounts were overspent?
Right. What happened was the whole issue that we had with the munis is year-end purchase orders. If there was a balance at the end of the year, when it rolled to the following year, instead of being charged to the expense, it was charged to a liability account. So the expenses were underreported. So we had to go through and take everything out of that liability account and then charge the expense. And that's why these expenses are over expended.
And it's all coming out of the general fund?
Yeah, it's all internally. Some are department by department, some are amongst the different departments. There's money, bottom line, the general fund to cover it, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Next item is appropriation transfers fiscal year 24-25.
These are more of your standard transfers. You'll see a small one from the tax department covering some additional professional development, primarily recreation, moving some money around, again, to cover some expenditures, facility maintenance and such that are overexpended. And then the recreation has another one on there that kind of spills over to the next page, where they'd like to take some of their surplus money and transfer it out to the park maintenance reserve.
Be it resolved that the North Branford Town Council hereby approves the following appropriation transfers as recommended by the town manager and the treasurer finance director for the fiscal year 24-25.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Zampiano. Discussion?
So the money between departments
Yes.
for the maintenance, this is what we discussed as far as the budget, because we're all
Right.
going into
Public Works.
public works.
It's coming, this year it came out of, it was budgeted in recreation, but reality came out of Public Works, so she's moving the money.
So now we're just moving the money to public works.
Correct.
Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Do we have to do anything with the interdepartmental budget transfer? Is that,
That's
was,
all part-
that was all,
that's
that, that's just back up to what
Yeah, yeah,
you,
exactly.
okay. Okay. Next item is use of funds from sale of town-owned properties. So we had discussed this last year when we started talking about selling town-owned properties. And now that we're at a point where we are finishing up the sale of Old Post Road, we put out to bid the property on Totucket Road, and we have discussion on 1599. We never formally made a motion as to where this money was going to go. The discussion we had at a previous council meeting with Anthony is traditionally, where does this money go? And he said general fund. But we have the right to designate, if we don't want it to go into general fund, and if we want it to be used as a specific source, we have the right to state that. So there was some discussion that we should take this money and put it into a fund for economic development, to use towards economic development causes, rather than just putting it into the general fund. So I would like to have a motion to at least get that part of it done, but then I think we need more of a discussion to state, to have the economic development director, which is Rory, come up with policies in regards to that fund, how that money would be used, and coming back to the council, that it's not just open, that anyone can say, oh, I want to take it out of economic development. Like, it would have to come before the council, suggested uses of that money, so that we kind of have an idea. But for tonight, if we can just have the motion that we are going to establish an economic development fund with the proceeds from sale of any town-owned land, and then the next step would be to determine the policy on that. So, do I have a motion?
I make a motion. That's what you just said.
Okay.
Do you agree with this?
Second.
Okay.
Sorry.
The motion was made by Counselor Zampano, seconded by Counselor Goad. Any further discussion?
I can't
Mr.
believe we
Abelson?
agreed to this.
Oh, oh, okay. And-
That was
okay.
smooth.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, so I would, Rory, if you can come back to the council at next month's meeting with some kind of policy guidelines, something formal to come back to the council that we can review, to establish the use of the purpose of the Economic Development Fund. Okay, great. Okay. The next item is award of bid 926017 for 672 Totucket Road. This is another item that we're going to have to just table for a minute because it's executive session to discuss it, and then we can come back to it afterwards. So,
Madam Mayor, if we're gonna change the order in executive session, do you need a motion for that, or can we just handle it in executive session?
we can handle it in executive session, but I believe,
I might remind you that you have to add something to
Yeah.
executive session.
Oh, okay.
yeah, if we need to do for the fire department, for the
Yeah.
communications, that has to be added. So, because that's not,
I would add that to the agenda under executive session as item, you know, E, let's call it E, and then you folks can decide what order you want to go into executive, and then depending on who's here.
yeah,
You're gonna have different people for each item.
correct.
Somebody adds.
So we have to add,
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we add the communications radio systems to the executive session under letter E.
Second?
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So this will be under, what CGS, do you know?
I would just call it pending litigation.
Okay. Okay. So the next item is citizen statements and petitions. Any citizen statements at this time? Okay, hearing none. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
To include,
Well, you're gonna have to pick which one you're gonna do first, but second, we have to go in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in,
Really?
We can't do it all and then come out?
Okay, so,
out. You default by the Freedom of Information Commission.
okay, so let's go into executive session for item E first,
okay,
and then include
yep. I'll
the
make a
chair and the
motion.
vice chair?
Yeah, sure. Make a motion to go into executive session to include the town council, finance director, town attorney, and assistant town manager, as well as commissioners Pernier and Civitello.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right. So we're going into executive session for first item right now.